This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, LowcoSports fans. It's Wednesday night? Wednesday night edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. This week is flying by just like they all seem to these days, because we are busy every night of the week over here in the LowcoSports world, and certainly no different tonight. We had a full slate of baseball and softball happening, as we often do on Wednesday nights. Had a few soccer scores that I haven't been able to track down anything, so we'll see if those materialize over the course of the night. Some golf results. You were on the call at the Shark Park today for a pretty good midweek slugfest with Embry-Riddle. There's a lot going on. You were in all the ballparks tonight, as a matter of fact. We'll get into that in just a little bit. And we got Will Korn from the May River Sharks in the green room. Going to be talking with him a little bit more about the Sharks' 4-2 win over Bluffton to sweep the series from the Bobcats. It was another good one. Beaufort's Own had that one, and you were out there. But a couple of headlines I wanted to throw out first before we go too much further. Beaufort County named Eric Brown the new director of Parks and Recreation. So I just saw that announcement come out today. Don't know much about him except that he comes from Florida, has a good looking track record. Definitely excited for them to get that position filled, because it's critical for our youth sports in this community, and looking forward to getting to know him and hopefully working with him to, help to find ways to improve what we have going on. I think we'll get in that a little bit tomorrow. We're going to try to get our friends from the Island News, Delana Early and Mike McCombs, to join us tomorrow night, because Delana also broke a story today about that's a little disturbing, actually. Former Beaufort High golf coach being charged with some serious crimes, and that's been all over the news today. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but and hopefully get into it in some depth with the reporter who broke the story tomorrow with Delana. But so kind of a somber note, I guess, there to start. But a great night on the Loco sports scene as far as what happened out on the field, and shining a light on that. Tell us about your day, man. You were hopping from ballpark to ballpark. Busy day for Worldwide West.
We head to USCB for some afternoon baseball. Another slugfest between Embry-Riddle and USCB Sand Sharks. And man, you just think about what could have been if pitching was just a little more sound, and you had a few mistakes that you wish you wouldn't have seen in the infield, which really told the story of the ball game. But the Sand Shark team's never out of the game, and Seth Robinson has been swinging the ball really well. Leadoff hitter, he's really carved out a role there. But then you look down further in the lineup, and man, Hunter Miller is really finding his groove. Yeah. He's been on the tear. He had another extra base hit. He had a multi-hit performance, and he's been a really solid fixture lately. It was a matter of time until he was really starting to get going, because he had that performance from last year, and he had that multi-home run game early in the season. So certainly you expected more out of him, and now you're starting to see it from him at the plate. And yeah, just great to see them battle against that's a solid Embry-Riddle team that hit 2 home runs of a park where we haven't seen many homers go out of, and one of them was a 3-run moonshot. I mean, absolutely no data off the bat, which was absolutely crushed. And
the other one was leading off the inning, right? Just turned on it down the right field line.
It was a 3-run homer.
There were 2, right? There wasn't the one leading off the inning, and then
one was taken off. There was a home run that ended up being called back for a foul ball.
Okay.
The other one,
that must have been what I saw, because I thought that looked foul, but then they put it on the board as a home run. He trotted around the bases.
Yeah, and then right before he touched home plate, they called him back. And it was a foul.
Okay. I missed that part.
But yeah, wild. So that happened, and then we had the 3-run moonshot over there from Timo. I forget his last name, but he was the guy who hit the Arsena. Yeah, Timo Arsena, who had that 3-run moonshot, no doubt home run. That was crazy. But they were up 6-5. Had a nice 4th inning. They scored 4. They took a lead, and then unfortunately, just like that, they see it slip away and really unable to recover. Although I'll tell you what, they got some nice pitching performances throughout that game.
Tillotson had a clean inning.
Been great. He's been awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, they should have gotten out of that 9th inning, on a ground ball to second, and unfortunately, a costly error ends up really, taking them out of an opportunity to really claw their way back, because it was going to be a 2-run ball game at the end of the ninth, and you just never know with the way with the way USCB can hit, and you can't afford to make those kinds of mistakes. I mean, it's a non-conference game, thankfully, but that's kind of the theme that we're seeing from this team. That's a couple of things go against them, and they just have not been able to hold on to those leads. It's just been a pattern team, and hopefully they can find a way to fix it and just have that more of a clean defensive setup over there. But it's just been a rough stretch for them, because the offense is there, and we know that, and we've seen it with Hunter Miller. Seth Robinson's been, as I said, been excellent over there at the leadoff spot. If they can get Hunter Miller going, or Hunter Miller's been, but Brian Meyer was the other guy. If they can get him going, and Carson Phillips, because Phillips has had a little bit of a slower stretch, but he's still having a great, all around season. And then the other guy who I thought was solid was Braden Fowler came in for a bit and was, he got the job done. But Hudson Morgan at shortstop was terrific. Made some nice defensive plays and had a good play as well with 2 for 4. Andrew Walters snagged the ball at third, so the left side of the infield, outstanding. And now it's just
where was Phillips playing? They played somebody else.
Phillips was in the outfield. He was playing center.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, so they kind of mix and match the lineup.
Yeah, well, that's what I wondered. I think it makes sense to me, if you're struggling a little bit defensively, to play with the midweek, to try some different things on defense and see if you can find some answers. So that's what I was curious about, because I know, if you can shore yourself up the middle defensively, and you can score as many runs as they're scoring, you should be able to be competitive. So anyway, tough loss today, but definitely some signs of life over there with USCB baseball
much better than I've seen.
Tough weekend series. Yeah,
and that's a really good team. And the Embry-Riddle squad they played.
And I imagine they held back some pitching too, because you got a weekend series at North Georgia. So, it was kind of bottom of the barrel pitching wise today, after getting banged up on the weekend and another weekend coming. You're trying to piece it together the best you can. So both teams were midweek special.
Yeah.
Midweek special. But no, let's talk some more ball with one of the stars tonight for the Sharks, getting the hometown sweep over the Bobcats. Will Korn joining us now on the Lowdown. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, man. Not as well for us probably as it is for you guys. After getting the sweep against Bluffton, 2 hard-fought wins, 2 really well-played games, and I thought in both you guys did a really good job of getting the ball in play, making them make plays, and then taking advantage when they gave you an opening. And you came up huge tonight with a 2-run knock in the inning that kind of broke it open. And so just tell us about a little bit about this series and about this team.
Yes, sir. The crosstown rivalry always means something a little more. So it's always nice to beat those guys. They're real scrappy. They're a tough team to play. They stay in it. So it's nice to get 2 wins. Start off region well. They got 2 great arms over there too.
Yeah, they do.
Nico and Miles.
Yeah. 2-0 puts you in a really good spot, especially when you get a sweep of Bluffton. So it really puts you in a good position as you head into, deeper into this region slates, the schedule. But take me through the situation. 2 outs, a couple runners on, and you come through in a line drive to center. So just take me through the at-bat and what you saw from Martucci.
For sure. 2 outs. It was 2-1. I think it was the top of the 5th. We had runners on second and third. With runners on second and third, I'm not trying to do too much, stay within myself. Base hit's going to score 2 with 2 outs. So I was, staying within my approach, stay middle. I know Nico's got a real good breaker. So I was kind of just like, see fastball, and I got it. And I was able to, hit it hard.
Stay back, see spin, spit on spin, look for that fastball. Shout out to, you'll love this. Right after we went live, my phone started ringing, Speaking of staying up the middle, who tells you to stay up the middle all the time? Who do you think was calling me?
How about Big Ned?
Big Ned Mullis. Yeah, he's out on a walk. He had to take his meds and go on a walk. But Mullis was calling me right as we went live because I had texted him and let him know you were going to be on the show tonight. So he must have been going to tell me some funny story to, to ask you about or something like that. So you want to just cut to the chase and tell us whatever funny story it was he wanted me to ask you about?
He's just great. It's good to have around. I woke up to the game day text this morning. Woke up to the game day text on Monday morning. Walked out of the dugout, looked at my phone. He was texting me already. It's a great guy to be around.
Yeah, he is. He's the best. But no, great win tonight over the Bobcats, and again, both games really well played, and you kind of alluded to it, how much fun it is to play against them. You've played against all these guys, growing up your whole life, and with them and against them and everything else. So, how much fun has this ride been for you? Just take us through your journey in baseball and how much fun it's been, man.
For sure. It's like the Bluffton series, we're in game, the adrenaline's running, we're high energy, and then it's post game and it's all hugs and good luck the rest of the year, and it's just there's a lot of good guys over there. Always grew up with them. This last 4 years, senior year, it's already here, so it's
crazy, right?
It's flown by. I was trying to take it all in, make the most of the moments, keep playing with energy. It's been a lot of fun.
And you've been a two-way guy. You've been doing it on the mound. You put in some yeoman's work pitching wise. So, tell me about how you've grown your mechanics as a pitcher and just, that two-way style of game, producing, doing whatever you need to do for your team to pick up some dubs in region play.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Always gotta do whatever you gotta do to help the team win games. I don't really throw a whole lot over the summer. High school is pretty much where I get all my innings. So once October hit, open season, I was just long tossing, throwing in the pen, getting my mechanics back sound. And then January hit with the second part of open season, and it's just you gotta throw a lot and make the most of every pen. Can't really take any of it lightly.
Yeah. No, I like that. Like you said, in the summer, you're not really a pitcher. You're there to play the outfield and be a bat in the middle of the lineup. But then on the high school team, you get to fill some other roles. And I think that's one of the great things that I've seen as a baseball coach and dad coming up is the same thing as you're a kid with rec versus travel. You go play travel and you may be you only start every other game or play every other inning or whatever. But then on the rec team, you're leading off and you're playing a key role, and you kind of learn both sides of that coin. And so, I guess just kind of expound on that a little bit, just about the experience that you've had being able to, play kind of school ball in one mindset, but then also know that you're also developing yourself as a whole baseball player. You have a whole plan over here on the travel side too. It's a lot to balance.
It is. It's like the same game, but it's a very different game. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you're playing high school ball, you're practicing 4 or 5 times a week, playing 2-3 games. Those games tend to mean a lot more. When you're playing in the summer, you're playing 4 or 5 games in 3 days, and they kind of fly by. So, just a lot of it too is just getting to rep the name on the front. Play with pride. So that's really the biggest difference. And summer ball, they let you. It's a little more freedom. If that
a little more Wild West.
Yeah.
You could be an outlaw out there.
Yeah.
Let it all hang out. Speaking of repping the name on the front, how nice are these, as Mullis calls them, the City Connects?
Yeah. They're pretty sweet. They're pretty sweet. We broke out the blue pants today too.
Yeah.
That was a fun surprise earlier.
Good look.
Yeah.
Good look.
We didn't we didn't know about the
Yeah.
pants until we were eating our like pregame meal at the field before we rode over to Bluffton, and Coach Schmidt walked up with like this tub.
Oh,
It was like,
really? I
yeah,
had seen the pants weeks ago.
yeah.
Good thing I didn't know they're. I think I'd forgotten they were a secret, so it's a good thing I didn't let the cat out of the
Yeah,
bag.
for sure. But yeah, well, it's great to watch you and see how your career's been going. But tell me more about Nico and how what you've seen from him and just that rivalry and what it meant to be a part of this Mid River Boston rivalry over the years here.
For sure. Nico and Miles, grew up playing with them. So when you see him on the other side of the field, like it's kind of like you're boys with them, and then you kind of gotta lock in a little bit more just to like, all right, we're not friends for these 7 innings, and then we're friends again, So but both Nico and Miles have grown tremendously, like just playing against them since freshman year. I think all of us have.
You all have grown tremendously, and that's one of the things that I love about what we do is, it's always a new crop of kids, but we get to watch them all grow up and flourish and go off and do their thing. So I know that you are a high academic guy. You're as Mullis often says, sometimes your brains just outrun your baseball. But you've got some opportunities, I know, and you're weighing your options to try to play ball at the next level if it makes sense for you academically. But where do you kind of stand with that, and what's that process been like for you?
Well, it's been a little all over the place. It's like talking to schools over the summer, and still talking to some schools. Really just trying to find the best fit for me. I've talked to schools for baseball. I've applied to some schools just for academics, and we'll see whatever works out. Whatever works out. But I'm really excited at the opportunity to play baseball at the next level if I can. So.
What are you hoping to study? I know you've got all the test scores and GPA and all that.
I want to go into like pre-medicine, so biology, and then like pre-med.
I mean,
very nice.
I'm sure we can find a place with a great med school that plays D3 baseball and could use a nice left-handed bat and outfielder.
But going back to this game, and certainly fun one to watch. And you had that big 2 RBI hit, as you mentioned, to really give you guys some separation. It ended up being the game-winning knock. Drove in the 2 RBI to put you guys on top 4-2. But how about the performance of Hargis those last 3 innings, picking up the save?
Hollywood.
Yeah,
Hollywood Hargis.
He's been amazing. He's like kind of bounced up and down the last 2 years. And he's like fully officially on, like last year he kind of played with us in like the preseason tournament and threw a couple innings. And this year he's really flourishing. He's pitching pretty amazing. He just gets after it and got spin like little right-handed Landon Fisher.
Yeah, with the gravity ball.
Yeah,
that's I think that's what Mullis used to call it, but Sir Isaac Newton, that's what he called him, Sir Isaac Newton. But yeah, he loves Wood, and I love Wood too. He's a competitor, like you said. He's got a little edge when he goes out there. He's got a little swagger. He's bopping along to the music playing in between innings. He's in the groove. I dig it. But now you guys have a good little vibe going there, and you got a bunch of seniors who have played together for a long time, and a bunch who are going on to play at the next level. Schroeder's going to Erskine, Tannen's going to Truett McConnell. So like you got some veteran leadership, but then you got some kids too, like Gustavo and Jordan Reed and Aaron Guthrie, who are like the little dudes. So just tell me a little bit about kind of the dad role now, the elder statesman role, and some of those young guys that you're looking forward to seeing what they do.
We got some dudes. It's the camaraderie this year is like different than it's been the last 2 years, I think. You know, we've been playing with a lot of energy, playing for each other. Joey at first base, he's been balling out. He's been swinging it really well. Tannen's locked down out there. I think our outfield, when we got me, Tyson, and Tannen out there, it's hard to beat. And then you got Arenado, Guthrie over at third, the vacuum over there. He smoked the ball today. Hit that.
Yeah, he did. That was a great at bat too. He fouled off like 4 or 5 pitches in a row, 0-2, tough pitches, and then just hammered one.
Yeah, that ball was smoked. And then, you know, I think the biggest thing is like with the young guys, like a lot of those guys last year, we didn't have very many seniors last year. Like our team last year was very young, and I think that like the growth from like Juice and Jordan and Chris at second, the growth from last year to this year is astronomical.
Yeah, no doubt. I love watching Jordan.
Well, we
play,
posed the question to Nico. We posed the question to Nico, but you guys beat him, so I'll ask it to you because you guys are in a good spot. What's it going to take to win a region championship? What's going to have to happen to win that region championship?
You know, we got to keep pounding the zone. We got to keep playing with a lot of high energy. I think when we're playing our best baseball, we can play with anybody. So if we're playing with high energy, we're having quality at bats. We're seeing pitches. We're making plays in the field. Cutting out the mental mistakes. You know, we're gonna bang with anybody. So.
Yeah, well, you and James Island are the only 2-0s at the moment because Carleton came back and walked off Hilton Head tonight, 7-6. Xavier Oxner with the go ahead or the walk off single to win it. So that's interesting. James Island swept Lucy Beckham 8-2 and 11-4. So I think James Island is, you know, kind of the front runner, I guess you would say, or the favorite. But it feels like you guys are, you know, positioned to, you know, give them hell. So what's your mindset with them? You obviously have some history with them, some baggage. And so like, what's kind of your mentality going into that series?
You know, I haven't beat James Island in the sophomore year, junior year. I haven't beat James Island. So that's like that's the milestone, you know.
That'll be at the end. That'll be at the very end of the regular season.
Yeah, very end of the season. I just looked at that.
That'll be a big series, and you know, we're not
determine. I mean, it's one that possibly could determine the
long ways away. Long ways away.
Yeah, you guys have a lot more to do. You get to Hilton Head next week, home and home with Seahawks. So you know, certainly will be another challenge, and that's one you guys focus on. You do have some other games coming up. You're at Barnwell.
Yeah, you got the Pennsylvania. Yeah, you got Barnwell, and then you got the team from Pennsylvania coming down, right, on Saturday?
On Saturday. So
that's cool. Yeah, you got some nice tests in there. But yeah, this region is going to be fun, man. I think anytime you can take 2, you've done something, because I think splits are going to be kind of the norm. But you agree with that? I mean, if you can, and you guys were set up well when you won on Monday, because you knew you had Tyson coming back on Wednesday, which again, it was another great pitching duel. Like everybody's got at least one guy, if not 2, that can shut you down any given night. So yeah, just handicap the region a little bit for us. Who do you think are the teams to beat?
You know, I think that James Island's team to beat. I think we're the team to beat. Yeah. You know, I think that as I said, when we're playing our best baseball, we can bang with anybody. So, you know, we're gonna play with that mentality that, you know, we gotta keep the energy up. We gotta do our thing, and when we do, it looks really good.
Right on, man. What you got, Wes? Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about your teammates. I mean, how fun has it been playing with you guys this year? Just playing as a whole, because you've been around this program for a while, and now it's really starting to come together. So just, you know, tell me about how you guys play together and how it's, you know, just been fun, you know, this year so far. And you guys are off to a great start to, you know, 4-2 in now, 4-2 right now, and 2-0 conference player. So just, you know, tell me about the excitement and how fun it's been playing with you guys in this group.
Yeah, this team's a lot of fun. As I said, we have like a camaraderie that we haven't really had the last 2 years. Everybody's playing for each other. It's a lot of fun when you hit a double and you stand up and hit the celly and you look in the dugout and everybody's like screaming loud. So
I saw you guys. They were getting into it at the end there, right before the final out.
Yes,
They're
sir.
doing something over there.
Yes, sir.
You guys have fun.
Yeah, play with a lot of fun. It's easy to have fun when you're playing with energy and you're making plays and so yeah.
I never seen you as hype, I don't think, as I saw you after the 6th inning the other night at home Monday night, when you were in a bit of a jam on the mound, and then a couple of base running mistakes, ran Bluffton out of a big inning, and you came off the field. I mean, you were as juiced as I've ever seen you, man. You came out the 7th inning and you were dealing.
I was tweaking out a little bit, but it's that energy, that adrenaline's like kind of like what you play for,
Yeah.
So it definitely pushed me through it. 93. I woke up the next morning. My arm was hurting a little more than it was after the game. So that it was just a very big moment. That game was tight. I think it was like 2-1 when that happened, and we had runners on first and third, and we get that big out at third with the bunt and the throw behind the runner. So that was already like a big, like we got the lead guy out. Now we have 2 outs, runners on first and second. Like we got to force anywhere we want. So that was a big play. And then tried to catch us sleeping with the taking third. And, Tyson and Dylan Mistick out and left we're screaming loud. They were locked in, and
they were crashing too. They were ready to get involved in a rundown or whatever.
Yeah. So got him out at third, and now we're going into the bottom of the 6th with the lead. Ready to add on. So it was a big moment.
Yeah, man, that was good stuff. Well, we appreciate you staying up late with us tonight, man, and congratulations on a nice series win. And keep the guys focused to keep it rolling next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care, Willie.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Will Korn, May River Baseball. Good stuff, man. Great kid. Just a super kid. Really enjoyed talking with him.
Oh, absolutely.
Always, but it was great to get him on the show. Mullis will be proud. MVP sponsors of Lowco Sports make all this possible, and it starts with Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports, and my wife. She's with the Anchor Home Group of Keller Williams of the Lowcountry, and she would love to help you find your place in the Lowco and put down an anchor in the best place. So call on Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports. Homegrown Home Inspections, the official home inspectors of Lowco Sports, and the best choice. Jan Lucas and his team will make sure that home is a great investment and that you're going to be, well positioned in the Lowco real estate market instead of sinking all your money into a home that needs a lot of repairs. And if you're buying a new home, building a new home, you got to do the phase inspection with Homegrown Home Inspections, official home inspectors of Lowco Sports. Mickelson Law Firm is the official real estate closing attorney of Lowco Sports, and they're our original sponsor since 2017. We love Ryan and Tiffany and the Mickle Squad. They're the official sponsors of all of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. And go see them for all your legal needs at Mickelson Law Firm. And Hospice Care, the Lowcountry official not-for-profit hospice official hospice provider of Lowco Sports, only not-for-profit hospice care in Southern Beaufort County. And they're doing all kinds of great things over there, including palliative care, free grief counseling, and mental health services. And they've got a great event coming up, the Yacht Hop, May 18th at Wexford. Got to check that out. Get out on the yachts, get some great food and beverage, and see all the stars from the Lowco over there, supporting hospice care of the Lowcountry, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And now we will get into some more scores and highlights from tonight, mostly scores. And welcome our friend Mad Max Araj to the Lowdown. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
Doing well. You heard us talking with Willie Korn. Big win for the Sharks tonight, 4-2 over Bluffton. But your boys, your alma mater, did it up big tonight over in Beaufort. 17-1. They put it on the Eagles. 11 errors by Beaufort, which errors are becoming a mounting issue for Beaufort. Obviously, you make 11 in a night. That's a problem unto itself.
Yeah, it's
kind of been a concern. poor Gunnar Hollingsworth. You gave up 10 runs, but only one was earned. So that was a tough outing for him. Hayden Brooks was terrific. Everybody hit, and they got to run him back tomorrow at Hilton Head Christian. Now, here's what's interesting. I did hear from someone after the game that Hilton Head Christian bunted for a hit up 12-1 and up 17-1. And Buford folks did not take too kindly to that. So tomorrow night could be interesting.
Yeah.
Pop some popcorn. It's going to be on Buford's own.
Yeah, with me and Javon, I'm ready for that. Interesting, moves by Hilton Head Christian. They're my alma mater, but bunting for hits and stuff like that. Up 12-1. I don't know if that's something I would do, but hey, they got to do what they got to do.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, another good win for Christian tonight. I mean, just. You kind of thought this was going to happen with Buford anyway, because Buford probably wasn't going to pitch their best pitchers in this 2-game set. They were probably going to save their best pitchers for Phillip Simmons on Friday. So I kind of expected this. Then I also kind of thought
but not
Buford
to that
might be
degree.
able to. Yeah, you would have kind of thought Buford would have put up a little bit more of a fight here, but I think.
Well, I mean, Gunner's good enough to keep him in that game if they play
for
defense
sure.
for him. They just didn't.
But it's just, it was just those errors. It was those errors tonight. It just was, too much by Buford. Because
they scored 10 runs. It was one. I think it was 1-0 Buford, and then they scored 10 runs in the third inning, and the wheels just came all the way off. So,
they scored 7 in the fifth. And that was it for Hilton Head Christian. I mean, there were only two innings where they scored runs in that 5
So really,
game.
for Buford, it's doesn't really work this way.
Yeah.
The one bad inning, but it kind of does sometimes. Like sometimes that snowball thing is just a thing that you got to figure out, and once you get over it, you're over it. But it's becoming kind of a recurring issue.
I mean, I said it before. This was going to be a long week for Buford High School because 4 straight games against really tough opponents. Phillip Simmons always will be a solid baseball squad, and then you got a really good squad in Hilton Head Christian, and you have to play 4 games, 2 against both teams in a 4-day span.
4-day span is a lot.
It is a lot, and I'm surprised they scheduled it like this because it's just. Yeah, you look at the schedule and you'd be like, really? They scheduled it like this? It's
more
difficult.
spaced out. I mean, you have
that's not where I would try to squeeze that series in.
I wouldn't have done it that week. You could have chosen another week for this.
Maybe squeeze it into the North Charleston week.
Yeah, I mean, something like that, man. Because I just going up against Phillip Simmons and Hilton Head Christian Academy the same week in a 4-day span. That's almost too much. It's almost
in
too
hindsight, that was a mistake.
Yeah, but I mean, good win for Hilton Head Christian Academy. They come home tomorrow night. Me and Javon will be on Buford's Own tomorrow, broadcasting the game. Other scores around May River High School tonight. Another really good game between those two schools. I kind of expected it between the two because they were both real good squads. So I was kind of expecting, those 2 real tough games. So good win by May River there. And then Hilton Head Prep played again tonight against JP2. That was a much better game than the first game between those two earlier this week. A 4-2 win for Hilton Head Prep. Closer than you would have thought it would have been against Hilton Head Prep. JP2 put up a fight. So, I mean.
They pitched really well. Well, I mean, and Putnam pitched the other day, and he didn't pitch badly, but Prep had a good game plan against him and worked the count and got him out of the game and then got into the bullpen a little bit. But tonight, Heathcott pitched a solid 4 innings, kept him in it, and then Mishko went 2 innings scoreless, which was solid to give him a chance at the end. And they rallied a little bit, but just couldn't do enough. Jackson Stanyard was outstanding. He went 6.
6 innings, 2 hits. Yeah. I mean, 6 innings, 2 hits, one earned run, 10 strikeouts. That's a good day for Stanyard.
Really solid. He's a really good ball player.
He is a very good ball player. So some good games around the Lowco tonight. Real interesting, real hard fought games. So I was excited to see how JP2 would respond in that second game, and Yeah, they didn't get the win, but they responded much better than they did in the first game. So I was glad to see JP2 was finding ways to keep Hilton Head Prep to a minimum amount of runs. So good win for Hilton Head Prep tonight. Good win for May River tonight. Hilton Head Christian Academy dominates again, and it was a good day all around for some local baseball.
Although I will tell you, pretty much a little bit of a shocker. Hilton Head Seahawks go down at college.
Yeah, I was
just pulling up the highlight here. I've got
because I was looking at the score and I was looking at the score and I was like, well, Hilton Head's got this. There's no way.
They were up most of the game, but Colleton rallies. Xavier Oxner with the hit. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. It looked like hit and run.
Kind of like overstepped there. It kind of looked like
over
overran that ball.
Yeah. Might have been a hit and run situation, but that's the walk-off for Oxner.
Yeah, that's a tough loss for Hilton Head High tonight. That's a tough loss to have. Especially being up for most of the game and then just walking it off in the end. That's real tough for Hilton Head, and it was kind of surprising too. So I mean,
I'm not terribly surprised because I think Colleton is solid. They're an underrated.
They're good.
I thought if Hilton was able to score like 5 or 6 runs against Varner, they wouldn't have a problem winning. But Colleton's offense was the surprise.
That's true. Yeah, Varner struck out 7, went 4 2/3. He gave up 5 runs, 4 earned. So yeah, Hilton Head did a pretty good job against him. But then Farnsworth came in and was excellent in relief. 2 1/3, 1 hit, 1 unearned run, and 2 strikeouts to give him a chance. To get back in it. They scored 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th.
Scrap
and win it. So man, they're tough. Scrappy squad.
Yep.
And walks. Hilton Head walked 9 people on the road.
They'll do it.
There might have been a little bit of a fishy zone. You never know.
Yeah.
9 walks on the road is a little curious. When the other team only had 3, but that would be pure speculation. I'm just saying it's a thing that happens. You go on the road, sometimes that strike zone's a little tight on you at the end of the game when they got a shot. Just like that whistle gets a little happy at the end of a game sometimes when free throws can make a difference. So you never know, but it's part of the game, and that's why it's hard to win on the road, right? Like
for sure,
that's part of the deal. So to get 2 is big, no matter who you're playing, and a split is probably going to be more the norm, I think, in this region. There's not a lot of mismatches. Like James Island's capable of sweeping you. May River's capable of sweeping you. Bluffton's actually capable of sweeping you because the 2 arms are good enough. Hilton Head's going to have a tough time sweeping.
Hilton Head's that's going to be a big series. Which when you look at Bluffton, Hilton Head, when you look at that part of the region, who gets that number 4 spot.
And the Bluffton May River series too. That's going to be big as well.
Yeah,
we had that one already, but you mean Hilton Head May River, I'm guessing?
Hilton Head May River.
Hilton Head May River. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I do.
That's going to be a big series as well.
Dorchester Academy rallied past Colleton Prep 8-4. Patrick Henry 11-2 over First Preparatory Christian out of Hinesville. Sims Brunson 5 innings, 5 Ks for the win. Maddox Lee went 2 innings, struck out 1. Forrest Ferry 3 for 5, a couple doubles. Jacob Corley 3 for 5, 3 RBIs. Hugh Ferry, Spencer Kelleher, the big cat, and Andy Searles each had 2 hits. But how about softball? How about May River softball? They've been laying in the weeds. They haven't played anybody yet. They've just been sitting over there, doing their thing, getting ready. And they spring out with a 14-8 win over a really good Colleton County team. Anna Caraballo is a name you're going to want to know. I've known about her for a while and knew she was coming up and got to know her parents a little bit. But I didn't realize she was going to be this whole thing coming out of the gate. 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, 8 runs, but only 1 earned. 1 walk, 1 K, 5 errors for May River, so they got to clean that up.
Yeah, clean up
And
that.
she went 3 for 5 with 2 homers and 5
Whoa.
RBIs. So have a day, Anna Caraballo.
Holy cow! Yeah,
Yeah.
great day.
Dang.
That's a good line there. That's a good stat
Have
line
a
there.
day, young lady.
Yeah.
So I think May River has shown they're going to be a problem. They can
Yeah.
really hit the ball. Michaela Landry, I love her. She's a nice lefty, kind of power slapper at the top. 3 for 5 with a double, 2 runs and an RBI. Caraballo with the huge game. Charlotte Berkeley, 2 for 4 with a triple. Grace Murdoch, 2 for 3 with a double, 2 RBIs. Caden Swafford, 4 for 5 with 2 triples and 4 RBIs.
Oh,
So like
Holy
they're
cow.
swinging it up and down. That's dangerous.
I mean,
That's scary.
especially against a real solid Colvin County team as well.
Mhm.
I mean, we've seen them have some good games as a team. So seeing May River, play the way they did against Colvin County tonight, it gives you a lot of hope and promise for that. So
yeah, I mean, I would have said Colleton was the favorite to win the region. So that you may have to revise that at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, May River. That's a statement.
May River looks like the favorite, but they got to play again on Friday. So
that should be a fun rematch for sure.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it will be. I think I'm going to try to check. Oh, it's not on Friday. When do they play? Okay. All right, now I got to look it up. I don't know why they played a random one-off against them though, but they did. They play them again on the 28th of
we
March,
have to wait until then.
Thursday at May River, so that'll be fun. But May River goes to Bluffton on Friday. So the Bobcats lost a tough one tonight, 8-7 to Lucy Beckham. They were down 8-3 and rallied back. Ava Rogers came in and pitched really well in relief. 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, walked 3, struck out 2 to allow them to get back in it, but they came up just short. So Rogers also had a triple and scored 3 runs. Ellie Welch 2 for 3 with a triple, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and Reese Frieden 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs. So young Bluffton team. Obviously, they had 4 kids who were 3 that are playing in college and 1 that had the opportunity. They lost off last year's team, so they knew that. And new coach, they knew they were going to have some growing pains, and they have, like that Battery Creek game the other night, 22-13. But I like the way they rallied in this game. They didn't lay down. Rogers came in, shut them down, and gave them a chance to get back in it. So I like what I've seen from them. I like the coach. I think they're going to be solid there. James Island blew out Hilton Head. No surprise there. James Island's solid. Hilton Head's very young. And Colleton Prep 7-4 over Dorchester. Sydney Stivender, another big night. 7 innings, 10 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 9 Ks, 2 for 3, 2 runs and an RBI. Ava Murray 3 for 3 with a double. Addison Crosby a big night, 2 for 2, a homer, 3 RBIs, and Hannah Strickland 2 for 3 with a double. So good stuff there.
Yeah,
love that. That Colleton Prep softball. I tried to go see them at the farm the other night, but it didn't work out in my favor. They were already done. They made quick work. The varsity sponsors of LowcoSports: DDS Web Design, building, hosting, and maintaining websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you're looking to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, call on DDS Web Design at ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they jumped on board with us this year to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Reverence Wrestling Club is the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind, our wrestling podcast. If you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level, you got to go to Reverence Wrestling Club. And Dr. Ambrose Cole is the official chiropractor of LowcoSports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton. Great spot with lots of great folks. And Dr. Ambrose will get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Those are our varsity sponsors, gentlemen. Back to what happened tonight. A little golf action. Skis and meet over at Hampton Hall. JP2 gets the dub, 167 their score. Hilton Head Christian with the 178. I'm guessing Hilton Head Christian again held back the guys who played the last 2 days at the Bengal.
I think so.
Yeah, that would be my guess. Holy Trinity 179, 1 shot behind Hilton Head Christian, then Thomas Hayward, Colleton Prep, Cross, BA, and Bethesda Ryan George from JP2 with a 36.
That's
Nice.
impressive.
Even par.
Yeah, nice
to
round
earn
there.
medalist
Yeah.
honors. Anytime you shoot par, man, you done something. I don't care what
Yeah.
team you played from or nothing. Like it's a good day.
Solid.
That's good. I don't care if it's Pirates Island. You playing Pirates Island on the hard course, especially you shot par. That's a good day.
Yeah, that's doing
Solid.
something for sure.
Yeah, man. On the easy course,
Hampton Hall's a tricky course too. Like it's not an easy course. So I mean, shooting par.
They played 9. I don't know which 9 they played. I think maybe the back. The back's definitely got some quality holes. That finishing hole's really good.
Yeah.
And the long. There's a couple good ones. I like that long par 5 on the back 9. I like 10 actually. 10's pretty good. Doglegging around the pond. I got scared by my first alligator there many years ago. I was driving the golf cart on the path along the pond on 10 on Hampton Lake, and an alligator stood up and ran into the water. I'd never seen one move at full speed before, but I was like scared straight from then on, man. I am not getting anywhere near those things. Them things.
That was like your welcome to the South moment.
Scared the bejesus out of me. No, my welcome to the South moment was getting out of the U-Haul on July 11th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and going, oh my dear Lord, what have we done? What have we done? What have we done?
I may have to rethink my decision here.
and not to mention that a hurricane had just passed through. We drove through it in Atlanta on our way to move here. So nice. It was very damp at the time. Quite humid. It's quite an adjustment.
But Max, you missed the first part of the show. Another slugfest over at USCB. Unfortunately,
it was a good game. It was a good game for USCB. It was a much better game. Yeah, it was a much better game for USCB today. I was impressed with how they played against a real solid Emory-Riddle team. They didn't get the win. They were kind of pitching their kind of backup pitchers there for the midweek game, but those pitchers got opportunities to play, so it's always a good thing, to get your players who may not get to play as much get some playing time. And for today's game.
Miller 4 for 5.
Yeah, man, Hunter Miller was on fire today. Seth Robinson was as well. He had a good game as well. So I mean, I didn't get to watch it live. I kept track of the box score and stuff like that, just watching, seeing who's up, and whatnot.
You missed Worldwide Wes on the call. It was
I know, man. I'm sorry. Anyway, speaking of which, Wes, nice haircut, man. I've been waiting to say that. I forgot to say yesterday, dude. It looks fresh. I like it. I love that
haircut. New look, man.
Yeah, dude, I like the new look, man. It's fresh. It's
profiling, as they say.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we might have to find out who did that and make them the official stylist of
Anyways,
hey,
tomorrow we get a double dose of stuff.
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff tomorrow, but I did want to talk about this story because it's kind of heavy.
Oh, yep.
And I think we may get the reporter on tomorrow. We're working on doing it, but this is a crazy story. But the golf coach, former girls golf coach at Beaufort High, arrested and remains incarcerated, charged with 5 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. This is obviously a big story, something that is kind of outside the realm of what we typically deal with, thankfully, but it does cross over into our territory here. I didn't ever have any interactions with Coach Corbin, other than maybe being on the email listserv for scores, but I don't even recall really getting anything from him on that front. I can't speak to his character or anything like that, but obviously this is disturbing news. And I guess I bring it up primarily through our responsibility to report the news of the day as it pertains to sports in the Lowcountry, but also as just a cautionary tale, that to remember that although 99.9% of coaches are 100% in it for the right reasons and invested in the kids and their well-being, you are your child's only advocate, at the end of the day. And, and you got to talk to your kids, and you got to talk to your parents and the other parents. And, you got to just kind of just make sure everything's on the up and up, it's crazy that somebody could have gotten into a position to be coaching our kids who was allegedly exhibiting or participating in these behaviors. But it's a reality. It's not the first time it's happened, and it won't be the last. So you have to be vigilant, and you have to. I don't know. I don't know. Just we have a responsibility to report it, I think, and that's my biggest takeaway is, man, you really got to look out. You really got to do your due diligence. And it can be a tricky thing for parents talking to coaches, and you don't want to mess it up for your kid. You don't want to, all these things, but at the same time, like the whole thing is built on trust, and the player and the coach have to have a trust. The parent has to have a trust that the coaches have the player's best interest in mind, the same that they do, and that we're working from the same sheet of music. So do your due diligence, and if a coach balks at that, you've got a pretty good example to point to that. Look, I'm not I just want to make sure I know the people that I'm entrusting my kids to. And if they balk at that, then that's something they should probably reflect on rather than you. But it's heavy stuff, but something that needed to be talked about. So
yeah, I mean, it's our responsibility to report that kind of information, but just really disappointing to see that happen in our community, because we have so many amazing coaches that do everything right and are just, amazing advocates for the kids. It just goes to show you just never know.
Yeah.
You really have to be vigilant. It's just something that I wish we
and it is important to note that that Mr. Corbin was a stipended coach. He was not a faculty member. He was not on staff at the school. And the school district, as soon as being made aware of the pending criminal charges, released a statement that they had become aware and that he would no longer be employed. He was no longer employed by the school district. He had also been a volunteer JV boys soccer coach. So the district handled it swiftly, and has put out the communication, been transparent about it. So I have to give them kudos for that, and kudos as well to my colleague Delana Early. The Island News is our print news partner. We provide their sports coverage, and Delana was on top of this and broke the story today, and wasn't available tonight, but she also did some reporting on when the previous Parks and Rec director Shannon Loper was removed from her position, and we have a replacement for that position as well. So we're efforting Delana to see if we can get her on one night and fill us in on both of those stories in a little more detail, having reported on them, for the newspaper. So, but yeah, big stuff. And I am excited about the new Parks and Rec director. He comes with some pretty impressive credentials. Eric Brown, coming in from Florida. South Florida obviously has, a very vibrant parks and recreation scene and youth sports scene. So that's exciting to me. He's coming from Hollywood, and Dania Beach, a couple of places he's been. So definitely excited to see what he can bring in. He's got a couple of adult daughters, so he's grown and looking to settle down in the best place. I need to reach out to him, see if he needs a realtor, see if he needs to talk to Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, to find the best place in the Loco and put down an anchor. But no, now let's give some shout outs and talk about tomorrow after we do the Loco Booster Club. The Loco Booster Club helps us make all this possible, and it includes the Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court, Loco natives who want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. They're with Charter One Realty, so call on Court Lifestyle Pros. Revive Rehab, women's health and pelvic floor physical therapy. Go see Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen if you're having any trouble with postpartum stuff or just need any kind of help down there. Eagle Creations, go see what they can do for you. Promotional items and custom apparel, as well as custom gift baskets. You can hit up their shop room showroom over on Argent Boulevard. My words are getting all jumbled up in my mouth. They don't come out so good. I'm like Charlie on his blind date right now. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland. Whether you need a haircut or not, you can come out styling, or you can just go in there for some great conversation over at Jay's Barbershop in downtown Ridgeland. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. If your floors are dirty, Chris Odom is the guy. Call him. He'll get them so clean your feet will thank you. That's the Lowco Booster Club. Shout outs and look ahead. Who you shouting out? Where you going tomorrow?
I gotta go with May River, a couple of strong candidates on that softball seed, but on that team, but Anna Caraballo doing it in the circle and then producing at the dish. You mentioned the 7 innings pitch, just one earned run, walked one, and scattered a couple of hits, but she was money at the plate, 3 for 5 with 2 long balls and drew in 5 runs. So, talk about producing in a big game against a Carleton team that we knew coming in was going to be a tough task, and May River passed. So, I mean, I'm really excited about that rematch coming up in a couple of weeks, March 28th. Mark that on your calendars. We'll definitely find a way to be there and report on that one.
That's a bold strategy opening your season with Colleton, but by golly, it worked out, Cotton.
Yep.
Let's see how it works out for him, Cotton. It worked out great.
Certainly
who you shouting out, Maxie? You got one?
I got 2 shout outs tonight. First one I think is JP2 Golf today, getting a good win at Hampton Hall. Ryan George with a 36 through 9 holes. Good win for JP2. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of their season goes. And then the other one for me is the Bird brothers for Hillnet Christian Academy tonight. They did really well. Slade Bird, 2 at bats, 2 hits. He had 3 walks and scored 2 RBIs. Steel Bird, 5 at bats, 3 hits, 3 runs, and 1 RBI. So I mean, a good win for Hillnet Christian Academy tonight. And the Bird brothers were cooking today. So
they're dudes.
They're cooking, man.
I mean, obviously, Steele going to Clemson. He's the real deal. I wish we could see him catch for another year in high school because it's a shame that he's limited because he's really good back there. But on the other hand, they got Roman Colella back there, and he's outstanding.
He's
so
really
it was kind of a shame he was going to be blocked this year, and only catch a little and have to play elsewhere. But
yeah,
I like behind the dish. But Slade, man. If he had Steele's body, we'd be talking about Major League Baseball draft for that guy. Like, high school.
For sure.
He needs to
grow like I think he needs to grow maybe like another. Yeah, he needs to grow like another 2 inches, bulk up a little bit. I mean, if he bulks up a little bit, he'd still be like really good. And I feel like D1 schools would be looking at him.
Oh yeah, no question. But I'm saying like if he had Steele's body right now, played the game the way
we're
he
talking
does,
Major League Baseball.
we would be talking about drafted out of high school,
Yeah.
and like you probably need to sign because the bonus is too big. Like
he's that good. He's
that good. Like tools wise, he just if he had a little bit bigger body, man, he'd be all.
No, he'd be dangerous. Yeah, he'd be incredible.
I love to watch him play. He's an absolute dog. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what about you, Justin? Who's your team? Shout out for tonight.
Well, I got to give love to Willie Korn. Came on the show, gave a phenomenal interview after going 2 for 3 with the double, 2 runs, that big 2-run single in the 5th that kind of broke it open, gave him a little cushion and allowed him to, hand it over to the bullpen and Hargis finished it off for him. He also pitched phenomenally in game 1 of that series on Monday night. And he's an exceptional young man, just exceptional human being. Really good student, conscientious kid. You saw it in the interview. So I got to give love to Willie Korn. He was terrific. Tonight, as always, I like that Sharks team, man. Mullis is excited about him. And he called me today and he said, I don't want to jinx them because I like them, but man, the Sharks looked ready to play ball. And so he was right. They were ready. I don't want to jinx them because I like them. It's not always a given you like your teams, as a coach. Sometimes you tolerate them, but he loves this one, so that says a lot. He really likes these kids a lot, and they're
you love
Willie talked about a lot of that, about the camaraderie of this group being a little bit different, and kind of everybody being in it together and not as many for themselves, and you sense that as a coach, and that energy, it just kind of. It's everywhere when everybody's in that that good space. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. Hilton Head Christian, Beaufort. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
He'll be on the
They're going to
call
come back with the red behind.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Me and Javon going at it tomorrow night. I'm excited for that one.
You'll be there. I'll, of course, be back at the Shark Park to see the doubleheader and the call for the St. Shark Gaming Network, of course. But I think that's a
noon.
Yeah, noon high noon. Yep.
All right, good stuff.
Yep. I'm excited for that one. I expect them to take both those games. I think they're much better than what we're seeing over at UVA Wise. Obviously, it's never easy, but I just think it's a great get right series for a team that really needs one.
get that offense going again. This is a series to do it, especially before you play Flagler on the weekend.
Get the groove back.
It'd be a good series to get that offense going, especially with the weekend series coming up against Flagler. So this would be a good series for them to get those bats hitting again and catching fire. So
this is the flush.
The flush. The flush.
We got good stuff on tap. Yeah, what were you saying?
And then you'll be. I was thinking about HHA, but you'll be there. But we have a Lowco girls soccer match tomorrow between Hilton Christian Academy and Bluffton. So across the skis again.
That's a good one. Yeah,
it is a good one. Yeah, across the way.
Yeah.
What else we got tomorrow? Let's see. You got May River girls lacrosse at home against Savannah Christian. You got Beaufort girls lacrosse home against Effingham County. And that doesn't interest me that much. Oceanside Collegiate at Hilton Head boys lacrosse is kind of interesting. Oceanside's usually pretty strong, so that could be a good test for them. Obviously, Beaufort Hilton Head Christian baseball. That one's on Beaufort's own with Max on the call. That is going to be a good one. That's not happening. Beaufort Academy doesn't have a baseball team now. Battery Creek at Hilton Head Prep. Interesting. Hilton Head Prep. That Hilton Head Prep baseball team is really quality. Really quality. Yeah, that's for baseball. Not a lot that gets me too excited. JP2 cross softball. That's interesting. All those girls a bunch of those girls from Cross that play basketball play softball too. So I've been knowing that they had kind of a budding softball program coming up. So
it's always good to specialize in different sports. I think that in turn helps the basketball team.
Heck yeah. Softball's on the come up now. I'll tell you, the rec leagues are getting better and better, and there's more and more kids playing travel. It's finally starting to catch up to baseball, and it's going to take a while, but they're finally starting to get some.
What was the experience like of coaching the sleigh this past fall?
Sleigh. Well, it was a great time. Now I'm coaching the Electric Eels.
Nice. The
we took a tough L last night to the Crush. We actually, the final score didn't indicate how competitive it was. We were in it for a good while. Outstanding effort by our young pitcher, Briella. She was terrific. She's a dog. She swings the heck out of it too. We just couldn't do enough against a really tough little pitcher, Taylor Lynham. She's outstanding. We're talking about 10U rec softball right now, boys. That's what we've gotten into here.
Right.
10U rec softball.
Hey, nothing wrong
to do it with a straight face, but
nothing wrong with that.
Seriously,
shout them out, man. Shout them out.
Taylor Lynham and Briella Beckman are both little dogs who are going to be stars. We're going to be talking about them for real in prime time before too long. They're animals. I mean, you either got it or you don't sometimes, and some of them you see it real early. You're like, man, that one's got it. Like that one's a killer. Whatever they decide to be good at, they're going to be good at it. And that's a couple of them right there. Briella, she wore it last night because she was throwing strikes. And when you throw strikes to a good hitting team, you're going to get hit. But I'd rather get hit. We want them to hit it. We don't want to walk them. We want them to hit it. We just got to get better on defense. But no, I love coaching the little girls. The little girls are even more fun to coach than the little boys. Like they'll run through the wall for you. I mean, they have the best attitude. They never talk back. They do whatever. They are so conscientious. They're so coachable. And unlike the guys, the boys, they don't like wear it. Like they get over it a lot faster and are like, okay, and it's just it's a good thing. It just kind of puts you on your heels. You can't get too upset with them. But they're fun, man. They work hard, and I love it when they have success. I love to see the growth. It's really fun, really rewarding. But great night tonight, fellas. Another great night talking with you guys. And we'll do it again tomorrow night if you guys are up for it. I'll be coaching the Electric Eels tomorrow night, and also middle school baseball dadding. So I don't know that I'm going to get out to anything, but I'll definitely get back here and round up the scores and as many of the highlights as we can, and we'll join you here tomorrow night at 10 o'clock for the Loco Sports Lowdown. So thanks so much to Will Korn for jumping on with us tonight. Great interview with him. Sharks are looking good. Thanks to all of our sponsors for making this possible, and thanks to all of you who showed up to listen or watch. Always great talking sports with you boys. For Mad Max Araj and Worldwide Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. We'll see you tomorrow night. Until then, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Loco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing.